Have you ever felt like someone's words or actions are weighing you down, making you feel hurt or unworthy? Imagine a moment where you're faced with criticism or negativity, and instead of letting it affect you, you simply brush it off. Sounds impossible? What if I told you that you have the power to change how you respond to such situations, and no one can truly hurt you unless you let them? We live in a world full of diverse opinions, and it's easy to feel overwhelmed or hurt by others' actions or words. But here's a thought to ponder. Can someone really hurt you, or are you giving them the power to do so? Let's delve into this idea further. Picture yourself in a heated argument. How often do you find that your reaction is more about your own inner state than the actual words being exchanged? This is where Buddhism offers a transformative perspective. Buddhism teaches that our suffering is not caused by external factors, but by our own reactions and attachments. By understanding this, you can start to see that the power to be hurt or not lies within you. It's about shifting your focus from external blame to internal strength. Imagine if you could navigate through life with such resilience that nothing outside could disturb your inner peace. Welcome to the channel Wisdom Woven. Here, we explore profound insights to help you lead a more harmonious and empowered life. If you're finding this topic intriguing, there's so much more to uncover. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel for more valuable content. Remember, there are so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% subscribe. So please hit that subscribe button now and be part of our growing community. In this video, we'll explore how Buddhism helps us understand that the power to be hurt is not in the hands of others, but in our own responses and perceptions. By tapping into this wisdom, you can unlock a new level of emotional resilience and inner strength. We'll break down simple yet profound Buddhist principles that can guide you in overcoming hurt and transforming your emotional well-being. Let's start by exploring the idea that nothing outside of you can truly hurt you unless you allow it. This concept may seem simple, but it has the power to change the way you experience life. When you begin to understand that your feelings are a reflection of your own inner state, you can start to take control of how you respond to external events. The challenge is to recognize when you're giving away your power and how to reclaim it. By incorporating these Buddhist teachings into your life, you'll learn to build a shield of inner strength that protects you from unnecessary pain and suffering. We'll dive into practical methods and mindsets that can help you remain centered and unshaken by the turbulence of external circumstances. Stay tuned as we unravel these insights and empower you to take charge of your emotional responses. This journey towards understanding and harnessing your inner power starts now. So, are you ready to discover how you can truly protect yourself from being hurt? Let's explore these concepts together and transform your approach to handling life's challenges. Remember, the key to not being hurt lies in your own hands. Let's embark on this journey to uncover the strength within and learn how Buddhism can guide you in achieving emotional freedom and resilience. Understanding the illusion of harm. Imagine you're walking through a beautiful garden. You see colorful flowers, tall trees, and a clear blue sky. Suddenly, a gust of wind blows a few petals into your path. They might briefly interrupt your peaceful walk, but they don't really harm you. In the grand scheme of things, they're just a small distraction. This simple image is a way to understand the concept of harm in our lives. In Buddhism, we learn that harm is often more about our perception than the actual events around us. When something seems to hurt us, it's often because we let it affect our inner peace. It's not the event itself that causes suffering, but our reaction to it. Just like the petals in the garden, many of our everyday challenges are temporary and can be seen as minor disturbances rather than real threats. Consider this: when someone says something unkind, the pain we feel is not caused by their words directly, but by how we interpret and internalize those words. If we see these words as an attack, we are more likely to feel hurt. But if we recognize them as just another gust of wind, we can let them pass by without letting them disturb our inner peace. The Buddha taught that much of our suffering comes from our attachments and aversions. We cling to our ideas about how things should be, and when reality doesn't meet those expectations, we feel hurt. This suffering is not caused by the reality itself, but by our resistance to it. Learning to let go of these attachments can help us see that many of our so-called problems are just illusions of harm. A helpful practice in Buddhism is to view our experiences through the lens of impermanence. Everything, including our feelings of being hurt, is temporary. Just as the petals blown by the wind eventually settle, so too do our feelings of pain and discomfort. By understanding that these feelings are fleeting, we can better manage our responses and maintain our inner calm. To further illustrate, imagine you're watching a movie. The characters on the screen might face dramatic situations and conflicts, but you know that it's all fiction. You're not personally involved in their struggles, you're just observing. In a similar way, viewing your own experiences as if you're watching a movie can help you detach from the immediate pain and see things from a broader perspective. This practice of detachment doesn't mean we become indifferent or uncaring. Instead, it means we understand that while events might be challenging, they don't define us or control our inner state. By recognizing the illusory nature of harm, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering and maintain our peace. Buddhism also emphasizes the importance of mindfulness in understanding and dealing with perceived harm. By being mindful, we become more aware of our thoughts and reactions. This awareness helps us recognize when we are reacting to a situation based on our fears or attachments rather than the actual reality. Through mindfulness, we can choose to respond with calmness and clarity. In practicing mindfulness, we develop a deeper understanding of how our mind works and how we create our own suffering. By observing our thoughts and feelings without judgment, we can start to see through the illusions of harm and respond more skillfully. This awareness allows us to address the root causes of our suffering and work towards lasting inner peace. Another important lesson from Buddhism is that harm often arises from misunderstanding or ignorance. When we don't fully understand a situation or the motives of others, we might perceive harm where none exists. By seeking to understand rather than react, we can reduce unnecessary suffering and cultivate compassion for ourselves and others. It's also valuable to remember that everyone has their own struggles and challenges. What might seem like a personal attack or harm might be a reflection of someone else's pain or insecurities. By recognizing this, we can approach situations with empathy rather than defensiveness, which helps to dissolve feelings of being hurt. Ultimately, the goal of understanding the illusion of harm is to cultivate a state of inner peace and resilience. When we learn to see beyond the superficial disturbances and recognize the true nature of our experiences, we empower ourselves to respond with wisdom and compassion. This approach not only alleviates our own suffering, but also fosters a more harmonious and understanding relationship with the world around us. In summary, the concept of harm in Buddhism teaches us that much of what we perceive as harm is actually a product of our own minds and perceptions. By understanding this, we can learn to let go of attachments, practice mindfulness, and respond with greater clarity and compassion. This shift in perspective helps us navigate life's challenges with a sense of inner peace and resilience, freeing us from unnecessary suffering and allowing us to live more harmoniously with ourselves and others. The role of mindfulness in overcoming hurt. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by emotions and external events. You might have found yourself hurt by someone's words or actions, thinking it's impossible to escape this pain. But what if I told you that the key to overcoming this hurt lies within you through a practice called mindfulness? Imagine you're holding a hot cup of coffee. If you grip it tightly, the heat burns your hand. But if you let go, the pain stops. Mindfulness is like learning to let go of that hot cup. It's a way to gently set aside the negative emotions that burn us. What is mindfulness? Mindfulness is a practice of being fully present in the moment, without judgment. It means observing your thoughts and feelings without letting them control you. In Buddhism, mindfulness is known as sati, and it's a powerful tool for understanding and managing our emotions. When you're mindful, you observe your feelings like you would watch clouds drifting across the sky. You notice them but don't cling to them. This helps you see that hurtful emotions are temporary and don't define who you are. How does mindfulness help overcome hurt? Think of hurt feelings as waves crashing on the shore. If you stand firm against them, you get knocked over. But if you step back and watch the waves, they come and go without harming you. Mindfulness helps you step back from your emotions, allowing them to pass without causing damage. By practicing mindfulness, you learn that your feelings are not permanent. They are like passing clouds or fleeting waves. When you acknowledge them without getting caught up in them, you start to see that they don't have to control your happiness or peace of mind. Practical mindfulness techniques. Focused breathing. Start with a simple breathing exercise. Sit quietly and take deep, slow breaths. As you breathe in and out, focus all your attention on the sensation of your breath. This helps center your mind and brings you back to the present moment. Body scan. Close your eyes and bring your attention to different parts of your body, starting from your toes and moving up to your head. Notice any tension or discomfort, but don't try to change it. Just observe and let it be. Observing thoughts. Imagine your thoughts are like leaves floating down a stream. Watch them pass by without getting involved. This practice helps you detach from negative thoughts and prevents them from affecting your mood. Mindful listening. When interacting with others, practice mindful listening. Pay full attention to what the other person is saying without planning your response or getting distracted. This helps you respond with empathy and reduces misunderstandings that can lead to hurt feelings. The Buddhist perspective on mindfulness. In Buddhism, mindfulness is not just a practice but a way of life. It's about being fully aware of each moment and understanding that all experiences, including hurt, are temporary. By embracing this perspective, you can approach life's challenges with a sense of calm and clarity. The Buddha taught that suffering arises from our attachment to our desires and aversions. Mindfulness helps us see these attachments more clearly and allows us to let go of them. By observing our reactions without getting entangled, we gain insight into the nature of our suffering and find a way to overcome it. Developing a mindful practice. Integrating mindfulness into your daily life doesn't have to be complex. Start with small steps, like setting aside a few minutes each day for meditation. Gradually, as you become more comfortable with mindfulness, you'll find it easier to apply it to different situations. Remember, mindfulness is a skill that improves with practice. It's like learning to ride a bicycle. At first, it might seem challenging, but with time and patience, it becomes second nature. The more you practice mindfulness, the more adept you become at handling emotional challenges with grace. Overcoming hurt with mindfulness. When faced with emotional pain, mindfulness helps you create a space between yourself and your feelings. This space allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. By doing so, you prevent negative emotions from overwhelming you and learn to deal with them in a balanced way. With mindfulness, you understand that you are not your emotions. You are the observer of them. This shift in perspective is crucial in overcoming hurt and maintaining emotional resilience. You realize that while you may experience hurt, it does not define you or dictate your overall well-being. Real-life example: mindfulness in action. Imagine a scenario where a colleague criticizes your work. Without mindfulness, you might react with anger or defensiveness, allowing the criticism to affect your self-esteem. However, with mindfulness, you take a step back, observe your emotional response, and choose to respond calmly. You might acknowledge the feedback, reflect on its value, and let go of any negative feelings. By practicing mindfulness in such situations, you not only handle criticism more effectively, but also maintain your inner peace. This approach helps you navigate life's challenges with a clear mind and a compassionate heart. Conclusion: mindfulness is a powerful tool in overcoming hurt. By observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment, you create a space where you can manage them more effectively. This practice helps you realize that while hurtful experiences are a part of life, they don't have to control your happiness or peace of mind. As you develop your mindfulness practice, you'll find that handling emotional pain becomes easier. You'll approach challenges with greater calm and resilience, and you'll experience a deeper sense of inner peace. Mindfulness isn't just a practice. It's a way of being that transforms your relationship with yourself and the world around you. Embrace mindfulness as a daily practice and watch how it changes your experience of life. The more you integrate mindfulness into your routine, the more you'll discover its profound impact on overcoming hurt and achieving lasting peace. Buddhism's insight on personal boundaries. Imagine you are a serene lake, calm and undisturbed by the chaos around it. Just as the lake remains clear despite the weather, your mind can stay peaceful, regardless of what happens outside. In Buddhism, understanding and maintaining personal boundaries is like keeping that lake still. It's about knowing how to protect your inner peace without letting external events disturb your calm. Boundaries are like invisible lines drawn around our emotional and mental space. These lines help us keep our peace intact and manage how much we let others affect us. But what does Buddhism say about these boundaries? In Buddhist teachings, the focus is on recognizing and respecting these limits to ensure we don't lose our balance. In Buddhism, the concept of personal boundaries is tied to the idea of self-awareness and self-care. It's about understanding yourself well enough to know what keeps you balanced and what disrupts your peace. For instance, if a person constantly criticizes you, it might start to wear you down. Buddhism teaches that you should acknowledge this, recognize it's not a reflection of your worth, and create a space where their negativity doesn't reach you. Personal boundaries are not about building walls to isolate yourself from others. Instead, they are about creating a healthy space where you can engage with the world without losing yourself. It's like having a clear space where you allow good things to come in and keep the bad things at bay. Buddhism encourages us to maintain this clarity by practicing mindfulness and self-awareness. Let's consider a simple example. Imagine you have a garden. You wouldn't let weeds grow unchecked among your flowers, would you? You carefully remove the weeds to keep your garden beautiful. Similarly, in your life, you should manage the weeds of negativity and harm by setting clear boundaries. This means being mindful of how much you let others' words and actions affect you and knowing when to step back and protect your inner space. Maintaining boundaries also involves understanding and respecting the boundaries of others. In Buddhism, there's a concept called right speech, which means speaking kindly and avoiding harm. When we respect others' boundaries, we also create a more harmonious environment for ourselves. By practicing kindness and understanding, we prevent misunderstandings and conflicts that can disturb our peace. Setting boundaries also means learning to say no. It's not always easy, especially if you want to please everyone. But Buddhism teaches us that it's important to honor our own needs and limits. Saying no when necessary helps us preserve our energy and maintain our peace of mind. Another important aspect of boundaries is knowing when to let go. Sometimes, maintaining boundaries means recognizing when a situation or relationship is too draining and it's time to step away. This isn't about abandoning people, but about protecting your well-being. Buddhism teaches us that letting go is a form of self-care and a way to keep our mind clear and peaceful. Buddhism also emphasizes the importance of compassion in maintaining boundaries. Compassion doesn't mean allowing others to overstep your limits. It means understanding their struggles while still holding firm to your own boundaries. It's about finding a balance between caring for others and taking care of yourself. In practical terms, maintaining boundaries can involve setting limits on how much time you spend with people who drain your energy or practicing mindfulness to avoid being overly affected by others' actions. It's about creating a safe and balanced space where you can remain centered and calm. Remember, maintaining personal boundaries is an ongoing practice. It requires self-awareness, mindfulness, and sometimes courage. It's about learning to protect your inner peace while still engaging with the world in a meaningful and compassionate way. By understanding and practicing these Buddhist insights on personal boundaries, you can create a life that feels more balanced and peaceful. You'll find that by respecting your own limits and those of others, you'll be better equipped to handle the ups and downs of life with grace and serenity. So, think of your boundaries as a shield that protects your inner tranquility. Just as a shield guards against external threats, your personal boundaries safeguard your mental and emotional well-being. With these insights, you can maintain your inner calm and navigate life's challenges with a clear and peaceful mind. The concept of non-attachment, a path to freedom. Imagine holding a fragile glass ball. You love this ball and want to keep it safe. But the more you cling to it, the more you worry about it breaking. This worry makes you tense and afraid. Now, imagine if you could still admire the ball but not worry about it breaking. You could enjoy it without fear. This is the essence of non-attachment. In Buddhism, non-attachment means not letting your happiness or peace depend on things or people outside of yourself. It's not about not caring. It's about not being controlled by your attachments. When you're attached, you're tied to something, and if it changes or goes away, you're left feeling hurt or anxious. Think of a tree in a storm. Its branches sway and bend, but the tree remains rooted. If it tried to hold on to every branch, it would snap. Instead, it lets the wind move through it, adapting to the changes. Similarly, non-attachment allows you to adapt to life's changes without being broken by them. Non-attachment helps you see things as they are, not as you want them to be. For example, you might love a job, but if it changes or ends, you might feel lost. But if you practice non-attachment, you can still appreciate the job and its benefits without it defining your happiness. When it changes, you can accept it without feeling devastated. Another example is a relationship. You might love someone deeply, but if that person leaves or changes, non-attachment helps you understand that your happiness doesn't depend solely on them. You can cherish the time you had together and move forward with grace. Non-attachment is not about detachment or ignoring your feelings. It's about being mindful of how strongly you hold on to things. It's about recognizing that everything is temporary, and this awareness can bring peace. When you accept that nothing lasts forever, you can enjoy life more fully without being afraid of losing it. In practical terms, non-attachment means practicing mindfulness. When you notice yourself becoming overly attached, take a step back and observe your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Ask yourself if your attachment is causing you stress or unhappiness. Often, simply recognizing this can help you loosen your grip. You can also use meditation to cultivate non-attachment. During meditation, focus on your breath and let go of any thoughts or worries. This practice teaches your mind to release attachments and be present in the moment. The more you meditate, the easier it becomes to practice non-attachment in everyday life. Non-attachment helps you handle change and loss with more resilience. When you're not attached to specific outcomes, you're more flexible and less likely to be thrown off balance by unexpected events. This flexibility allows you to adapt and grow from life's experiences instead of being stuck in fear or frustration. By embracing non-attachment, you also create space for new experiences and relationships. When you're not clinging to the past or fearing the future, you can fully engage with the present. This openness leads to a richer, more fulfilling life. Non-attachment is a way of freeing yourself from the burdens of clinging. It's not about denying your emotions, but about understanding that your happiness and peace are not tied to external circumstances. By practicing non-attachment, you can navigate life's ups and downs with a sense of calm and clarity. Remember, non-attachment is a journey, not a destination. It's about gradually letting go of the things that weigh you down and finding freedom in the present moment. Each step you take towards non-attachment brings you closer to a more peaceful and fulfilling life. Cultivating compassion for self and others. In our journey to understanding how to handle hurt and maintain inner peace, one of the most powerful tools we have is compassion. Compassion is like a gentle breeze that soothes the storms within us and helps us to deal with the world more gracefully. Imagine compassion as a soft light that illuminates even the darkest corners of our hearts. It's that feeling we get when we see someone struggling and our hearts naturally reach out to them. But compassion isn't just for others. It starts with ourselves. How often do we criticize ourselves for our mistakes or imperfections? Cultivating compassion means treating ourselves with the same kindness we would offer a friend in need. When you start to develop compassion for yourself, you open up a space for growth and healing. It's like planting seeds in a garden. Each kind thought and gentle word you give yourself helps these seeds grow into a beautiful, flourishing garden. Just as you would water and nurture a plant, you must tend to your own heart with understanding and patience. Buddhism teaches us that compassion is not just an emotion but a way of being. It's a practice of recognizing our shared humanity with others. When we understand that everyone, including ourselves, has their struggles and pain, we can relate to them more deeply. This shared experience can bridge gaps between people, transforming potential conflicts into opportunities for connection. For example, think of a time when you were frustrated with someone. Maybe they were rude or unkind, and you found yourself getting upset. By practicing compassion, you can try to understand their behavior from their perspective. Perhaps they are dealing with their own difficulties or are simply having a tough day. When you shift your focus from their actions to their circumstances, you create space for empathy instead of anger. This doesn't mean you have to accept harmful behavior or overlook the need for boundaries. Compassion is about understanding and responding to others' actions with a mindset of kindness, rather than reacting with judgment or resentment. It's about seeing the person behind the behavior and acknowledging their humanity. Cultivating compassion also involves forgiving ourselves for past mistakes. We all have moments we wish we could change, but holding on to guilt or shame only weighs us down. Instead, embrace those experiences as part of your growth journey. Each mistake teaches us something valuable if we approach it with compassion rather than self-criticism. When we practice compassion towards ourselves, we also become better at extending it to others. This creates a ripple effect of kindness. When you approach people with a compassionate heart, you inspire them to respond in kind. This can transform relationships, creating a more supportive and understanding environment around you. Moreover, compassion can be a powerful tool in managing conflicts. When faced with disagreements or misunderstandings, responding with compassion allows us to address the issue without escalating tensions. It encourages open, honest communication and fosters mutual respect. One way to cultivate compassion is through mindful reflection. Spend a few moments each day thinking about the people in your life and how you can approach them with kindness. Reflect on your own actions and attitudes and consider how you can treat yourself with more compassion. This practice helps build a compassionate mindset that becomes more natural over time. Another method is to engage in acts of kindness. These don't have to be grand gestures. Even small acts, like a kind word or a supportive gesture, contribute to building a compassionate heart. Notice how these actions make you feel and how they affect those around you. Compassion also plays a crucial role in reducing suffering. When we approach ourselves and others with compassion, we create an environment where hurtful feelings and actions are less likely to thrive. This helps us respond to challenges with a calm and centered mind. In conclusion, cultivating compassion is a transformative practice that enhances our ability to handle hurt and maintain inner peace. By extending kindness to ourselves and others, we create a more harmonious and supportive world. This practice not only heals wounds but also builds stronger, more compassionate connections with those around us. So, as you move forward, remember that compassion is like a warm embrace for your soul. It nurtures your heart, strengthens your relationships, and helps you navigate life's challenges with grace. Embrace this practice and let it guide you toward a more peaceful and fulfilling life, transforming anger into understanding. Imagine a stormy sea. When the wind howls and waves crash, the surface of the water is chaotic and turbulent. But beneath that, deep down, there's calmness and stillness. Our minds are much like that sea. When anger rises, it churns the surface, creating a storm of thoughts and emotions. However, if we dive deeper, we can find a place of peace and clarity. Anger often feels like a powerful force, but it's important to remember that it's just a reaction, not a reflection of our true self. Buddhism teaches us that anger is like a burning fire, consuming everything in its path. But what if we could learn to transform that fire into something more constructive? One of the key teachings in Buddhism is understanding the nature of anger. It is often fueled by misunderstanding or attachment. When we react angrily, it usually means we are holding on to expectations or desires that are not being met. Imagine if you were holding a hot coal. The longer you hold it, the more it burns you. But if you let go, the pain ceases. The first step in transforming anger is to recognize it without judgment. When you notice anger rising, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath and observe the feeling as if you're watching a storm from a distance. This simple act of observation helps you detach from the emotion, making it easier to manage. Next, try to understand the root cause of your anger. Ask yourself, what am I really upset about? Often, anger masks deeper feelings like hurt, fear, or frustration. By identifying these underlying emotions, you can address them more effectively. For instance, if you're angry with someone, is it because you feel unappreciated or misunderstood? Buddhism offers a powerful practice called mindful awareness, which involves paying attention to your thoughts and feelings in the present moment without reacting. This practice helps you to respond to anger with clarity rather than reacting impulsively. It's like being the calm observer of your inner storm. Another helpful approach is compassion. When you feel anger towards someone, try to put yourself in their shoes. Understand that they, too, are human and face their own struggles. This shift in perspective can help transform anger into empathy and understanding. One Buddhist technique to transform anger is loving-kindness meditation. This involves silently repeating phrases like, "May you be happy," "May you be healthy," "May you be safe." Start with yourself, then gradually extend these wishes to others, including those you feel angry towards. This practice helps to dissolve feelings of resentment and replace them with compassion. It's also beneficial to practice forgiveness. Forgiving someone doesn't mean condoning their actions, but freeing yourself from the burden of anger. Remember the story of the Buddha, who was once insulted by a man. Instead of reacting with anger, the Buddha responded with kindness and understanding, teaching us that true strength lies in controlling our own responses. In daily life, you can apply these principles by taking a moment to pause and reflect before reacting. If you feel anger rising, try to take a step back. Engage in a calming activity, like deep breathing or going for a walk, to help soothe the emotional storm. This pause allows you to approach the situation with a clearer mind. Transforming anger is also about cultivating patience. Understand that change takes time, and it's okay to have moments of frustration. With practice, you will find that your ability to handle anger improves. Be patient with yourself and recognize that every small step towards understanding is a victory. Remember, transforming anger into understanding is a journey, not a destination. It requires practice, self-awareness, and compassion. By embracing these teachings and applying them to your life, you can turn the stormy seas of anger into a calm and peaceful ocean of understanding. As you move forward, keep in mind that anger, like all emotions, is a natural part of being human. It's not about eliminating anger, but about transforming it into something more positive and constructive. With time and practice, you can navigate through life's challenges with greater ease and grace. In essence, transforming anger into understanding is about reclaiming your inner peace and responding to life's difficulties with wisdom and compassion. By doing so, you not only enhance your own well-being but also foster harmony in your relationships and interactions with others. The art of letting go release negative emotions. Imagine you're holding a hot coal in your hand. The longer you hold onto it, the more it burns. Now, picture that hot coal as your negative emotions. Holding on to anger, resentment, or hurt is like clutching that burning coal. It harms you more than anyone else. Letting go of these emotions isn't about forgetting what happened, but freeing yourself from the pain they cause. In Buddhism, letting go is a powerful tool for achieving peace and clarity. The Buddha taught that our suffering often comes from our attachments. When we hold on to negative emotions, we're clinging to something that only brings us pain. By learning to let go, we can begin to heal and move forward with a lighter heart. So how do we let go of these harmful emotions? Start by acknowledging them. It's important to recognize what you're feeling, rather than denying or suppressing it. If you're angry, sad, or hurt, admit it to yourself. This acknowledgement is the first step toward releasing these emotions. Next, try to understand where these emotions are coming from. Often, our negative feelings are tied to unmet expectations or past experiences. By understanding their root causes, we can gain perspective and reduce their hold over us. For example, if you're feeling hurt by someone's words, reflect on why their words affect you so deeply. Is it related to a past experience or a personal insecurity? Once you've recognized and understood your emotions, it's time to practice letting go. This doesn't mean you should ignore your feelings or pretend they don't exist. Instead, it's about releasing the grip they have on your mind. One effective method is mindfulness meditation. By focusing on your breath and observing your thoughts without judgment, you can create a space between yourself and your emotions. Visualization can also be a powerful technique. Imagine placing your negative emotions into a balloon and then releasing it into the sky. Watch as the balloon drifts away, carrying your emotions with it. This simple exercise can help you feel a sense of freedom and relief. Another important aspect of letting go is forgiveness. This doesn't mean condoning someone's actions or pretending everything is fine. Forgiveness is about freeing yourself from the burden of anger or resentment. It's a gift you give to yourself, allowing you to move on without carrying the weight of past hurts. In Buddhism, forgiveness is closely linked to compassion. When we cultivate compassion for ourselves and others, we begin to see beyond our own pain. We understand that everyone makes mistakes and that holding on to grudges only keeps us stuck in suffering. By practicing compassion, we open ourselves to healing and growth. Letting go also involves accepting impermanence. Everything in life is constantly changing, and so are our emotions. Recognizing that emotions are temporary can help us detach from them. When you feel a wave of anger or sadness, remind yourself that these feelings will pass. This perspective can make it easier to let go and find peace. It's also helpful to engage in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. When you focus on positive experiences and connections, you naturally create space for healing. Surround yourself with supportive friends, pursue hobbies you love, and practice gratitude for the good things in your life. These actions shift your focus away from negative emotions and toward what brings you happiness. Finally, be patient with yourself. Letting go is a process, not an instant fix. It takes time and practice to release deeply held emotions. Be gentle with yourself as you navigate this journey. Celebrate small victories and acknowledge your progress along the way. In summary, letting go of negative emotions is an art that requires awareness, understanding, and practice. By acknowledging your feelings, understanding their origins, using mindfulness and visualization, practicing forgiveness and compassion, accepting impermanence, and engaging in positive activities, you can free yourself from the burden of negativity. Embrace this process with patience and kindness, and you will find that you are lighter, freer, and more at peace. Embracing impermanence to find peace. Have you ever noticed how everything around you changes? Just as seasons shift from summer to autumn, so too do our feelings, experiences, and challenges evolve. Understanding and accepting this idea of change is a powerful way to find peace within ourselves. This concept is central to Buddhist teachings, and it can help us handle life's ups and downs with grace and calm. Think about a moment when you were upset or anxious. Perhaps it was a difficult conversation with a friend or a challenging situation at work. Now, consider how that moment eventually passed. The feelings you had then might not be as strong today. This is a simple example of impermanence. Everything, including our emotions and circumstances, is constantly changing. Buddhism teaches that recognizing and accepting impermanence helps us to let go of our attachments and anxieties. When we cling to things, whether they are people, objects, or outcomes, we set ourselves up for suffering. By understanding that all things are in a state of flux, we can start to release our grip and find a sense of peace. Imagine a leaf floating down a stream. It doesn't resist the current or try to control its path. It simply moves with the flow. Similarly, when we accept the natural changes in our lives, we align ourselves with the flow of existence. We stop resisting and start to adapt, which can bring a deep sense of calm and freedom. One way to practice embracing impermanence is through mindfulness. By paying attention to our thoughts and feelings without judgment, we become aware of their transient nature. For instance, if you're feeling sad, instead of trying to push the sadness away, observe it. Notice how it arises and eventually fades. This awareness can help us see that our emotions, like everything else, are not permanent. Another helpful approach is to reflect on the teachings of impermanence in daily life. For example, when a favorite item gets damaged or a plan falls through, remind yourself that everything is in a state of flux. This perspective can lessen the impact of such events, helping you to remain more centered and less distressed. Meditation is also a powerful tool in embracing impermanence. By sitting quietly and observing the ebb and flow of your thoughts, you develop a deeper understanding of the temporary nature of your mind's activities. Over time, this practice can make it easier to accept changes and find inner peace. Consider the Buddha's teachings on the nature of life. He often spoke of the three marks of existence: impermanence, anicca, suffering, dukkha, and non-self, anatta. By deeply understanding impermanence, we can also come to grips with the other two marks. We see that suffering arises from our attachment to the permanent, and that recognizing the non-self helps us detach from these illusions. Embracing impermanence doesn't mean we stop caring about things or people. Rather, it means we appreciate them fully while they are present but do not become overly attached. We learn to cherish the moments without clinging to them, knowing that they too will change. You might also find it helpful to keep a journal of your experiences with impermanence. Write down instances where change occurred, how you felt, and how you adapted. This practice can help reinforce your understanding and acceptance of impermanence. Ultimately, embracing impermanence is about finding peace in the midst of constant change. It's about letting go of the struggle to control every aspect of our lives and instead, flowing with the natural rhythm of existence. This shift in perspective can lead to a profound sense of inner tranquility and resilience. By adopting this mindset, you become more adaptable and less fearful of change. You start to see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than threats. This approach can transform how you experience life, making it easier to navigate through the inevitable changes with a calm and open heart. So, the next time you face a change or challenge, remember the leaf on the stream. Let go of resistance and embrace the flow of life. With practice, this acceptance can lead to a deeper, more enduring sense of peace and contentment, no matter what comes your way. In the end, embracing impermanence is not about denying the difficulties we face, but about changing our relationship with them. It's about recognizing that change is a natural part of life and choosing to meet it with acceptance and understanding. By doing so, we find a more profound and lasting peace within ourselves. The power of forgiveness, healing from within. Forgiveness is like a gentle breeze that sweeps away the dust from a window, allowing clear light to shine through. Imagine you're carrying a heavy backpack filled with rocks. Each rock represents a grudge, a hurt, or a grievance. As you walk through life, this weight slows you down, making every step more difficult. Forgiveness is like setting down that backpack, freeing yourself from the burden you've been carrying. When someone hurts us, our first instinct might be to hold on to that pain, nurturing it and letting it grow. But holding on to anger or resentment is like drinking poison and hoping the other person will suffer. It only harms us, not them. Buddhism teaches that holding on to grudges and anger creates suffering in our own hearts. It's like building a prison around ourselves with the very walls of our negative feelings. Think about a time when someone let you down. You might replay the event over and over in your mind, feeling the sting each time. This repetitive cycle of anger and hurt is exhausting and keeps you tied to the past. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting what happened or condoning bad behavior. It means choosing to let go of the hurt and freeing yourself from the grip of those negative feelings. Forgiveness is also about recognizing that everyone makes mistakes, including ourselves. In Buddhism, we understand that everyone is on their own path, making their own errors and learning as they go. Just as we hope for compassion and understanding from others when we slip up, we must extend the same grace to those who have wronged us. When we forgive, we open ourselves to healing and growth. One simple practice is to sit quietly and think about the person who hurt you. As you focus on this person, visualize a warm, healing light surrounding them. Wish them well and wish yourself well. This act of kindness, even in your thoughts, helps dissolve the negative energy and brings peace to your heart. Forgiving doesn't necessarily mean reconciling with the person who hurt you. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional weight that the grievance carries. Sometimes, forgiveness might mean setting boundaries or distancing yourself from those who have caused harm. It's about finding what works best for you while letting go of the negative emotions that keep you anchored in the past. Buddhism teaches us about the nature of suffering and the path to its cessation. Forgiveness is a powerful tool in this process. When we forgive, we break free from the cycle of reactivity and suffering, moving towards a state of inner peace and clarity. It's like clearing away the fog to see the beauty that lies beyond. Forgiving someone might not be easy. It's a process that takes time and patience. Begin by acknowledging your feelings without judgment. It's okay to feel hurt, but recognize that holding on to these feelings only prolongs your suffering. Gently remind yourself of the benefits of forgiveness: peace of mind, emotional freedom, and personal growth. You can practice forgiveness in small steps. Start with minor grievances and gradually work your way up to more significant issues. Each act of forgiveness, no matter how small, helps to lighten your emotional load and brings you closer to a state of inner peace. Remember, every step towards forgiveness is a step towards freeing yourself from unnecessary pain. Forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself. It allows you to move forward with a lighter heart and a clearer mind. As you let go of past hurts, you create space for joy, love, and positive energy to enter your life. Embrace forgiveness as a daily practice, not just a one-time event, and you'll find that your life becomes more serene and fulfilling. In summary, the power of forgiveness lies in its ability to transform our inner landscape. By letting go of grudges and resentments, we clear the way for healing and personal growth. Forgiveness is not about forgetting or condoning wrongs, but about freeing ourselves from the chains of past hurts. It's a profound act of self-care and a key step towards achieving lasting inner peace. Maintaining equanimity in challenging situations. In the hustle and bustle of life, maintaining a calm and balanced mind can feel like a daunting task. Picture this: you're caught in a traffic jam, late for an important meeting, and frustration bubbles up within you. It's moments like these that test your inner peace. How do you stay serene amidst the chaos? In Buddhism, equanimity means maintaining mental calmness and balance, regardless of external circumstances. It's about keeping a steady mind whether you're facing joy or sorrow, success or failure. Let's explore how you can cultivate this quality in your daily life. First, understand that equanimity isn't about suppressing your emotions. It's about acknowledging them without letting them overwhelm you. Imagine you're holding a cup of hot tea. If you hold it too tightly, you might burn yourself. But if you hold it gently, you can enjoy the warmth without getting hurt. Similarly, by acknowledging your emotions without clinging to them, you can stay balanced. Begin by practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness helps you stay present and aware of your emotions without getting lost in them. When you're mindful, you notice your feelings: anger, frustration, sadness, but you don't let them dictate your actions. For instance, if someone cuts in line in front of you, you might feel irritation rise. Instead of reacting with anger, observe the feeling, acknowledge it, and let it pass. This simple act of awareness prevents the emotion from taking control. Another crucial practice is to develop a sense of detachment. This doesn't mean you become indifferent or uncaring. It means you recognize that your happiness doesn't depend on external circumstances. Imagine a boat floating on water. The boat can bob up and down with the waves, but it remains afloat. Your mind can experience ups and downs, but you remain steady. By focusing on what you can control, your responses and attitudes, you can maintain inner peace regardless of external events. Cultivating compassion is also vital in maintaining equanimity. When faced with difficult people or situations, try to see things from the other person's perspective. This doesn't mean you accept bad behavior, but understanding that everyone has their struggles can help you respond with kindness rather than anger. For example, if someone is rude to you, instead of taking it personally, consider that they might be having a tough day. This shift in perspective can help you remain calm and composed. Remember that equanimity is a practice, not a perfection. There will be times when you lose your balance. When this happens, don't be harsh with yourself. Simply acknowledge it and gently bring your focus back to your practice. Like a musician tuning their instrument, each time you realign your mind, you get closer to your goal of inner peace. Incorporate daily rituals that promote calmness. Meditation is a powerful tool for developing equanimity. Set aside a few minutes each day to sit quietly and observe your breath. This practice helps you create a space of stillness within yourself, which can carry over into your daily life. Other practices like deep breathing, yoga, or even a quiet walk in nature can also support your journey towards a balanced mind. Lastly, remember that equanimity is not about never being affected by life's ups and downs. It's about learning how to navigate them with grace and poise. Life will inevitably bring challenges, but with practice, you can maintain a sense of inner peace amidst them. Embrace the journey, knowing that each step you take towards equanimity enhances your ability to handle life's turbulence with calm and clarity. By integrating these practices into your life, you'll find that maintaining equanimity becomes easier. You'll be able to face challenges with a steady heart and a clear mind, no matter what life throws your way. Embrace these teachings and let them guide you towards a more balanced and serene existence. Daily practices for sustaining inner peace. Welcome to the final part of our journey together. We've traveled far, exploring how to shield ourselves from hurt and embrace a more peaceful existence. Now, let's focus on daily practices that will help you sustain this inner peace. Imagine a calm lake. When it's undisturbed, it reflects the sky perfectly. But when there's a storm, the surface becomes choppy and the reflection is unclear. Your mind is like that lake. To keep your mind calm and clear, you need daily practices that nurture and maintain your inner peace. Start each day with gratitude. Begin your day by taking a few moments to express gratitude. It might sound simple, but it's incredibly powerful. When you wake up, think of 3 things you're grateful for. They can be as small as a warm cup of tea or as significant as your health. This simple act shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant in your life. It sets a positive tone for the rest of the day and helps you start on the right foot. Practice mindful breathing. Mindful breathing is a cornerstone of Buddhist practice. It's a technique where you focus on your breath, noticing each inhalation and exhalation. Sounds easy, but it can be incredibly grounding. Take a few minutes each day to sit quietly and concentrate on your breathing. When your mind starts to wander, gently bring it back to the breath. This practice helps center you, reduce stress, and maintain clarity throughout the day. Engage in meditation. Meditation is a powerful tool for maintaining inner peace. It allows you to quiet your mind and connect with your inner self. You don't need to meditate for hours. Just a few minutes each day can make a big difference. Find a quiet spot, sit comfortably, and focus on your breath or a mantra. Let go of any distractions and allow yourself to experience stillness. Over time, meditation helps you develop a deeper sense of inner peace and resilience. Practice kindness and compassion. Kindness towards others and yourself is a vital practice for sustaining inner peace. Small acts of kindness can uplift your spirit and create positive ripples in your life. Whether it's a smile, a kind word, or a helping hand, these gestures foster a sense of connection and goodwill. Similarly, be compassionate towards yourself. Acknowledge your efforts and forgive yourself for mistakes. Self-compassion strengthens your inner peace by reducing self-criticism and enhancing self-acceptance. Set healthy boundaries. Setting boundaries is crucial for maintaining your peace. Boundaries protect your energy and ensure you don't become overwhelmed by others' demands. It's okay to say no and prioritize your well-being. Communicate your limits clearly and assertively, but with kindness. Respect your own needs and ensure that your boundaries are respected by others. Reflect and release. At the end of each day, take a moment to reflect on your experiences. Ask yourself what went well and what you could improve. Acknowledge your achievements and let go of any lingering negativity. Writing in a journal can be a helpful way to process your thoughts and feelings. By releasing negative emotions and reflecting on your day, you maintain a sense of balance and clarity. Embrace impermanence. Understanding and embracing the concept of impermanence is vital for sustaining inner peace. Everything in life changes, and recognizing this can help you let go of attachments and worries. When faced with challenges or changes, remind yourself that these are temporary and will pass. Embracing impermanence allows you to adapt and remain peaceful, regardless of external circumstances. Stay present. Being present means fully experiencing each moment without dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. Practice staying present by engaging fully in whatever you're doing. Whether you're eating, walking, or having a conversation, give your full attention to the present moment. This practice helps you connect with life as it is and reduces anxiety about what might happen. Surround yourself with positivity. The people and environment you surround yourself with can significantly impact your inner peace. Seek out positive influences and avoid those that drain your energy. Create a nurturing environment at home by keeping it tidy and filled with things that bring you joy. A positive environment supports a peaceful mindset and enhances your overall well-being. Nurture your body. Physical health is closely linked to mental and emotional well-being. Make sure to take care of your body through regular exercise, a balanced diet, and adequate sleep. When your body feels good, it's easier to maintain a peaceful state of mind. Listen to your body's needs and treat it with kindness and respect. Engage in creative activities. Engaging in creative activities can be a wonderful way to express yourself and relieve stress. Whether it's painting, writing, gardening, or any other hobby, find something that you enjoy and make time for it regularly. Creative activities provide a sense of fulfillment and help you connect with your inner self. Connect with nature. Spending time in nature has a calming effect on the mind. Nature provides a sense of tranquility and helps you reconnect with the larger world. Take walks in the park, hike in the mountains, or simply sit outside and observe the natural world. Connecting with nature can restore your inner peace and provide a fresh perspective. Practice acceptance. Acceptance involves embracing things as they are, without trying to change them. This doesn't mean you resign yourself to negative situations, but rather acknowledge reality without resistance. Practice acceptance by letting go of the need to control everything and focus on how you can respond positively to what comes your way. Build resilience. Building resilience helps you maintain inner peace in the face of adversity. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from challenges and keep moving forward. Strengthen your resilience by facing difficulties with a positive mindset and learning from your experiences. Resilient individuals are better equipped to handle stress and maintain their peace. Seek wisdom and guidance. Continuously seek wisdom and guidance to nurture your inner peace. This could come from reading spiritual texts, listening to wise teachers, or engaging in discussions with like-minded individuals. Wisdom provides insights that help you navigate life's challenges and deepen your understanding of yourself and the world. Conclusion. As we wrap up our exploration of sustaining inner peace, Remember that these daily practices are tools to help you maintain balance and tranquility in your life. Implementing these practices consistently will cultivate a lasting sense of peace and well-being. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you found this video helpful, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Wisdom Woven for more insights on living a harmonious and fulfilling life. Your support means a lot, and I look forward to continuing this journey with you. Until next time, may your days be filled with peace and joy.